Welcome back to the final whistle then for the afternoon whistle. Today we've decided to do a Sunday show and discuss Leicester City even further. We're going to discuss everything and anything. This last 24 hours has been chaotic. An embarrassing shit show at the King Power in the defeat to Charlton, to Leicester City getting linked with every Tom, Dick and Harry. Now the transfer deadline day is tomorrow, and Leicester... It's desperate times call for desperate measures for the football club, and there's been another manager link, and Enzo Maresca, could there be a return for the Italian to the King Power Stadium till the end of the season? Well, Leicester have offered him a lucrative package, by the way, and will he take it? Will he pick up the phone? Who knows? Matt Hermansen is another one we're going to discuss. Will he be back here on loan after leaving Leicester in the summer, by the way? We're going to discuss Mukasa from Manchester City, Joe Aribo, Mr. Lascelles from Newcastle, and Lee Dong-Zhong from the K-League, by the way. So let's get into it. Everyone hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. If you haven't subscribed already, please get down and do so. And let's see who's in the chat before we get ashing. Gracia resigned from Watford. That one's come out of the blue. I mean, when you sign a contract at a club like Watford, the last 3 months, maybe 6 at a push. But yeah, they're gone. Where are the striker links? I'm going to ask Ash where the striker links are, because I ain't got a clue. We're linked with bloody goalkeepers, defenders, midfielders. We'll be linked with a bloody new supporter supporting the club soon. It's definitely a new goalkeeper we need. We need Enzo back. Afternoon, Jack. Hope you have some positive news. Well, I bloody hope I've got positive news for you. I don't know if it'll make you cry, make you smile. I ain't sure. I clearly don't want to upset you on this Sunday. I think you've been put enough through this season. You don't really want my depressing analysis on things. It's definitely a new goalkeeper we need. Hello, Sam. How are we? Mukasa, who we are signing on loan, can play striker. Oh, we're linked with bloody every bloody cam in the bloody division at this point who's free, can be alone. But let's get Ash in. Ash, how are we, mate?
Afternoon, Jack. You all right, mate? Thanks for having me on.
I'm all right, pal. So, where do we start? Should we discuss Charlton and get that out of the way first?
Yeah, let's get that out of the way, shall we?
Right, come on. We don't have to talk anymore about it, not joking. Right. 2-0 defeat. 24 league games now consecutively without a clean sheet for Leicester. A side who are very much depleted at this point. They are way for thin with the amount of injuries and that we've got. We're not exactly taking the game to teams. We're very much getting beaten and gifting teams 3 points. And it was the same yesterday. How do you analyse the Charlton defeat? We'll discuss the red card first, Ash. Caleb Bakole, red card. It's disastrous defending. It really is now. I think it sums up Leicester's defending this season as a whole, to be fair. What was your thoughts on the sending off?
Well, I thought it was idiotic defending. There's no need for him to do it. You know, his positioning was all wrong. He was too tight to his man for a start. And it's just another individual error at the back. Time and time again, that's cost us. And, you know, I felt sorry for Andy King for a bit because first 15 minutes, his game plan's out the window through stupid mistakes. And what can you do about it? You're on the touchline, you've got dickheads on the pitch doing that, then, you know, it cost us the game.
I was the same. It's a definite sending off. But if he lets him go, he probably does score. Probably letting in a goal at 1-0 and keeping the 11 on the pitch is probably better than getting sent off. But then again, we play with 10 men every bloody game anyway, don't we? Because we ain't got a striker to score goals. So we play with 10 men and we've not got Ayew or Daka to do a job up front. So it proves costly that Leicester, with Ayew, he spends more defensively. If you look at Patson Daka, he's probably scored 2 goals in about a year and a half, if I'm honest. So we're not very... We're too defensive, aren't we? We're too predictable. We go backwards and sideways. This whole robotic Pep Guardiola style of football, is that, if that's what you want to call it. Stayed in the game for 20 minutes after the red card, and then what do Leicester do? Free ball into the box. Sonny Carey puts it over Ricardo's head and then volleys it home into the corner. And Leicester's defence is just awareness, nowhere to be seen for the first goal.
Yeah, the defensive frailties are there for everyone to see. I mean, like you say, 24 clean sheets without a clean sheet. Sorry, it's unacceptable in any level of football.
Yeah,
never mind what we're in. But like I've said, like previous, they don't seem to learn from the mistakes. It's the same mistakes happening all the time. What are they doing on the training pitch? And it's the same culprits all the time. Luke Thomas just ball watching and losing his man. That was the second goal as well. I'm just like, what's going on? Why are they not learning? Are they incapable of getting coached?
You wouldn't believe the footballers, would you? This is the thing. If you told a child to go in a sweet shop and spend your money, they would, wouldn't they? They'd know exactly what to spend, and they'd go and raid the shop. If you told Leicester City to go and do some simple defending and do the basics, they can't do it. So what do? It's amateur defending. It is. No matter who you put at the back this season, they're all doing the same thing, game upon game, and it's the same individuals. Thomas, non-existent. Ricardo, a leader. I just don't think he's got that leadership in him to lead a team. To be honest, I think he's too professional and he's too nice. You need somebody like a Wes Morgan head, someone who's going to come in. We're going to discuss a leader in a minute, and it ain't Connor Cody. So you then look at the
big problem. We've not got no leaders. That is the big issue.
That's the problem.
But I see. Well, we'll get onto it, I suppose, in a bit. We're linked with a defender that I think we could bring in that could actually bring a bit of steel into that back line.
Ex-Forest, yeah.
Yeah,
all that with ex-Forest and all that. Steve Cooper.
Not mentioning.
45 of you watching, 19 likes. Yeah, hit the like button, subscribe. Afternoon, troops. How are we? Tribe, good to see you in. The second goal. Lyndon bloody Dykes, and you knew building up to the game that he would score, and he did. Back post, Luke Thomas loses his man again, caught ball watching, and Lyndon Dykes scores, gets some 2 in front. Well, good cross into the box, pinpoint header, and into the bottom corner. Charlton, it's an absolute pandemonium in that way. And a side who haven't won for away from home in the league since October the 21st, I believe. They beat Ipswich. And then they did exactly what Oxford did. They battled. They worked hard for the win. They had a manager who doesn't allow them to underperform. He wants them to give everything, Nathan Jones, and there's him bloody jumping up and down on the bloody touchline and getting excited. That's what you want to see from a manager, innit? Someone a bit of
passion.
Yeah, a bit of passion. Someone who can pass on to the players. And Leicester's players, they just stroll around, don't they? And just look thinking, well, what am I doing? Who's doing what? Who's doing... You look at Abdul in the first half, spending too much time on the floor than attacking the defender. Jordan Ayew on the floor. Harry Winks, mixed reception yesterday on that one, Ash. Obviously, Hamza Chowdhury's injured. He's out. He'll be out for a bit now. But what's your thoughts on the return of Harry Winks? It brought a lot of discussion yesterday when he came on. Boos. Some people clapped, to be fair. Each to their own, to be honest. But what's your thoughts on the Harry Winks situation?
Well, I've been quite vocal about it on social media. I think he's a rat myself. I think, now he's got it's obviously him with the problem because he's done it for 3 managers. He's down tools for. So there's obviously an attitude problem there. And this is not doubting his ability in that. You know, he's probably one of the best midfielders in the Championship.
Yeah.
And he'd walk into our starting 11. But I just can't, you know, it don't sit right with me is what he's done. And yeah, you know, credit where it's due, he didn't shy away and he came on. He didn't do too bad yesterday when he come on.
He did his job.
Yeah, but he's getting paid £90 a week, so he should be doing his job.
That's the thing, and I say this about Wings. He's a top Championship midfielder. He's good. With the right mentality, he's fantastic. And yesterday, come on, did what we wanted him to do. He controlled the midfield, I thought, in the game. He moved that ball forward. He sprayed quite a few yard passes to Abdul and that. He did everything that Harry Winks, you know, he can do. But the problem is with Winks is it's an attitude problem. And we're now down to the bare bones of midfielders with, well, Skip's going to be back next game, but then you've got rid of Booba. You've got Hamza Chowdhury's injured now. Jordan James is out for a month. So you're down to the bare bones now with you've got no choice now to play Harry Winks at all, have you, to be fair?
Yeah, well, that's it. We are down to the bare bones, like you say. And, you know, at the end of the day, he's still a Leicester player and he's on 90 grand a week. So go out there, do a job, and then you might get some takers in the summer when your contract runs out. You might get a new club. So he's got everything to play for, really. He needs to be on the showcase. So put in a good performance in the Leicester show. Stop throwing your toys out of the pram. Stop
pissing about. Do you know what? You look at it as transfer window when obviously Marty Rear and he throws him out for attitude reasons and whatever, that he felt that he shouldn't be in the team at all with the problems that he caused. You only read what the media tell you, don't you? You don't physically know what's going on at Seagram or what is happening and what isn't. So you know, you'd love to be that fly on the wall if you could, to fly in there and hear some of the conversations and watch exactly what is happening. So I find with Winks, with the media, they did sort of reply that he wants to move this January transfer window, but then you look at it with 6 months left on his contract, the only thing that's going to be putting these teams off him is the wages. 90 grand a week, who's going to pay it? You would expect bloody Iniesta on that expectation for it, though, wouldn't you, Ash, to be fair, with that type of midfielder? If they said Iniesta in 90 grand a week, you know what you're going to get. With Winks, you know he's a good player, but is he living up to that type of money? Because that's bloody high Champions League money, that, isn't it? A wages, 90 grand.
Yeah, exactly. And that's part of the reason we're in the shit we are, because we've been giving players that many mediocre players contracts that don't warrant that kind of amount. But, you know, like I say, like, he's not our problems in the summer. They're not going to offer him a new contract, but while he's contracted to Leicester, he needs to prove a point. Say he's not a knobhead, and he actually does want to play. You know, but I think that ship sailed for me.
I watch them week in, week out from overseas, Martin. But you are there live, suffering each week. Who would you place the blame squarely on? In what? In what players? I'm not one to just single one player out. If I talk about performances, I will talk about the whole team and in different areas of the pitch. But then if you look at the problems are on the pitch and around the club, it's down to everybody at the club. I think everybody's got to take a hard look at themselves. The club itself, the owner, the hierarchy, the board, the players, they've all got to take accountability somewhere, haven't they, Ash?
Yeah, of course. It filters down from the top all the way down onto the pitch. So at boardroom level, when you've not got your house in order, it filters down, and that's, you know,
it's a collective failure.
Yeah, and that's why the mentality is so bad through the whole club. You know, there's it's kind of a bit of an arrogance about the club. They think they're better than they are at the moment. And it seems like they're all delusional, because we're heading for League One, and it seems like they've not processed that yet.
They've not processed it. I don't think they've processed how much of a mess we're really in, to be honest.
No.
It always feels like negligence, doesn't it, when you talk about it? You know, these last few, 4 years since we've won 4 or 5 years since we won the FA Cup, it's negligence. You know, this structure wouldn't have to change if things were being done properly and actually professionally and actually done in the care that it should have been done. The right players, the right contracts, the right business purposes. We wouldn't have to go and change the CEO, the sporting director and everything else if everything were done perfectly. But because we've neglected it and we've left it and made all these big mistakes that have cost us in PSR and that, and this is the reason now we are where we are as a football club, because we've made so many mistakes and we can't go and sign a Yuri Tillemans again or spend big money on other players because we can't physically do it now.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's mistakes over the 4 years.
Yeah,
that's made into this position we're in now. But they keep on making these mistakes, and this is what the most frustrating thing is. Like they're making enough mistakes on the pitch. We need it at least stop making them off the pitch because. Yeah. The club's going in one. It's only going in one direction at the minute.
It's going downwards, isn't it? The trajectory. Yeah. We're not looking upwards as a fan base at the minute, are we? We're looking downwards because there's just nowhere to go. Who's doing what? Where do we go from here? You look at our back-to-back home defeats now against Oxford and Charlton. You know, two sides who are very much
relegation candidates. Really.
Safety this season. Oxford's would have been the same. But then you look at Leicester's, the mess they're in. We've still got a points deduction to come, which we don't know how many points. And if we do, say, get between 9 and 12, we're going to be battling down there. But do I think this team's got the capability to battle in a relegation battle? I don't. I don't physically think we can battle. I think we're a team of individuals this season. Collectively, I think we're very much a moments team that we score a worldie and just think that's it. That satisfies it. That's the cream on top of the cake done. It's not. It's the unfinished article at Leicester. As fans, we look at the whole picture of the mess as a club on and off the pitch, and this is why the decline is so bad. And this is why when they asked Andy King about it yesterday about relegation, he said, of course, it's always a possibility. Because that's what it is. We put ourselves in this situation and we can't seem to overlook it.
Yeah, well, it's soon to become a reality, not a possibility. If we carry on the way,
yeah.
But it needs to get hammered into the players because they don't seem to care enough for me. And you know, if you're not willing to battle in the Championship, you're going to get your arse bitten and you're going to get found out. Which we are doing. I mean, we should not be losing to teams like Oxford and Charlton. No disrespect to them, but we should be beating teams like that. They're relegation candidates, and now we end up being one ourselves now.
Skip is injured. Skip will be back for the Birmingham game, I believe. He had a concussion at Wrexham, and he obviously has to be out of protocol for 2 weeks, doesn't he? You know what it's like. The whole club is in freefall. It is, Mark. It is. We can't overlook it and say that it isn't. You can't just paper over the cracks, and I think this is what they've tried doing, the board and that papering over the cracks and thinking, well, if we sign one player this transfer window, the fan base are going to be happy. We're not. You know, we need a lot of players. We've got a squad who, how do I say it? They're just not up for the fight. They're on a lot of money. They're being paid a lot of money by Leicester City, and they're not performing to that level that you'd expect for getting that paid that type of money. You'd expect intensity, fight, a lot of commitment from this team, and we're not getting it. And I do agree with you to the extent we haven't got a leader, and I've said it many times. You look at the second half, who's controlling the play? Charlton yesterday sat off first second half, took down the game a notch, and then just like, well, that's right, Leicester, you have the ball. Let's see what you can do with the football now. And Leicester just don't do anything with it. Sideways, backwards, run down the wing, go backwards again. We get it in the box, nobody's there. Jordan Ayew's having to go back to the halfway line to collect it. And then you then look at the penalty. Ash, it is dreadful. I think that's the first penalties, the first penalty in league competition he's missed. I know he missed one at Huddersfield, but the one where he'd missed yesterday is horrendous. It
Yeah,
sums
well,
up the season, doesn't it?
to me, it sums up Ayu's time at the club. To be honest with you, I just
He's one who's free.
he had a terrible game anyway, but it just that stuttered run up. You just knew he were going to miss. You just knew it.
Yeah.
It was the way the whole game was going. Nothing was going our way, and then just to see him walk up and do that. I mean, he should have just been subbed off straight away after that.
I tell you what, Keith, JJ is a massive miss. He's carried Leicester City. You see how good Leicester are with him in the team, how much of an effect he does have on the team. And then when he's not in the team, this is the way we are. Agree, Ash, we've become too arrogant since the new training ground's been built. It's been online. Well, I mean, that training ground's what do we call it? An holiday camp, we call it. Nice little centre part training ground. You get a nice rub down, nice play football with your friends, and everything else. It's luxury life, isn't it? Arrogance is the way he's got the penalty, put the laces through it, smash. Jamie Vardy would have smashed that.
Yeah, cool.
Why did Fatawu Mavididi not take the penalty? Predominantly for Fatawu, as he was awarded it. I see Harry Winks wanted it, but Harry Winks didn't get it. Jordan Ayew's the penalty taker, isn't it?
Yeah, he's the set penalty taker. So if he's on the pitch, he's going to be taking it.
Yeah, and do you know what? You look at the youngsters yesterday who played Monga. I don't think he did anything bad when he came on, really. You look at Aluko. I thought Aluko and Louis Page yesterday showed that fight, that commitment.
Yeah, I thought Aluko played well when he came on, to be fair.
Yeah.
I thought he done really well. Page is getting there. He's going to be one, but we shouldn't be having to rely on these young lads because it's not fair on them. It's toxic down there. And every mistake's getting, with a magnifying glass, every little detail, and it's not fair on the young lads because the senior players have let them down, and that's why.
I agree with Luco and Page. They do well. They fight for the ball. They try their best, and you're getting the young lads doing it who's 16, 17. It should be the experienced players showing them how it's done, but it's them showing the experienced players. So it's just like, well, what are you doing? It should be the other way round. And that shows the naivety of it, the mentality.
That's arrogance, and the wage packets they're on. That's why they don't care.
No, I agree. Right, let's get on to the nitty gritty of the transfer side of things. So we've been linked with a lot of players, haven't we, Ash, in the last 24 hours?
Yes.
Let's talk about. I tell you what, we'll talk about Enzo Maresca. This came out last night about Enzo. He hasn't been at the club for 2 years, has he? He left Leicester in 2024 to join Chelsea. Enzo's time at the club, if we date it back to 2 years ago on this day, the deal for Sensi collapsed, didn't it? And I think that was the final nail in the coffin for Enzo, that he wanted a new sporting director at the club. He wanted signings, and he never got what he were promised. And Enzo were very vocal in criticising everything that he felt was right to do so. Enzo Maresca has now been contacted by Leicester. He's been offered a lucrative package to come back till the rest of the season now to sort of keep us up on that end. Well, they still think we're going to get playoffs, by the way, in their minds. And I think when this points deduction comes, I think that is going to be the slap of reality for them to be where we are as a club. So what is your thoughts on Leicester reportedly now contacting Enzo Maresca to come back? I mean, it's desperate times call for desperate measures now, doesn't it? It shows that there's no thinking process at the club, and they clearly don't fancy Russell Martin or some of the names that's been bandied about. They're just running back to old foes like they did with Nigel Pearson.
Yeah, I think it's clear to see that there was no plan in place whatsoever when they sacked Marty Sorrentes. There was no plan whatsoever. So, to go back to Enzo, that you're pipe dreaming anyway. He's not going to come back. There's no way. There's no way. He must be a madman if he does come back. And I don't think his relationship with Woodkin's very good anyway. So I don't think he wants to work under him anymore. And who the hell would? I don't blame any of them. But yeah, Enzo won't be coming back, I don't think. I'd be flabbergasted if he did.
It's mind blowing, isn't it? When I was reading it last night, I was thinking, nah,
I thought it was good.
When my friend messaged me and he said, Enzo Maresca, they've contacted me. I said, what? And they said, Enzo Maresca. I was thinking, nah, job on. Like, Enzo's going to take the Man City job in the summer. He won't come back. I can't see it. You can throw all the money in the world at him at this point. What money have we even got to throw at him?
Why would he want the stress? I mean, it's a total different team to what he left. Well, how's he going to get a tune out of Ayew? And he's going
to look at his team and think, what do I do with it?
Yeah, he's thinking, nah, I'm not. Why would I even want to ruin my reputation? That's how far we've fallen now. No one wants the job. It's a poison chalice, this job is at the moment. And
it shows that with the 3 managers in the last year and a half.
But I think, to be honest with you, and this is not no thingy to Andy King or anything, but I think we're going to need a new manager in before the Birmingham game, for me.
I like Kingy. Love him to bits. But he can't manage his team. And you sort of seen it yesterday.
It's not his fault.
It's not his fault. He's been put in a difficult position by the club. It's just like, well, Kingy, you're a club legend. The fans will get on side with you. They'll, Andy King's not the problem. Andy King's not the man we need to criticise. We can see where the problem lies, with the players. The players are the problem here. Every manager's got it. And, Marty wasn't a big problem at the football club. The results wasn't working because the players just don't turn up and do what we expect them to do. Ruud van Nistelrooy had problems with him. Steve Cooper, the same. So it clearly showed yesterday to me that it's the players. It's just simply the players. It's not the manager. Kings asked them to do what they needed to do yesterday, and then they're going to get bloody sent off. And then we're down to 10 men, and the game plan's gone, and they just capitulate after that. As soon as teams start sticking it on them, battling and that, we're nowhere to be seen because we don't like physical football. This is what the Championship is. It's physical.
Yeah.
You've got to expect it.
I don't think the players can't cope with the physicality of the Championship. They've shown that all season. If they go up against a team that plays direct and likes to get in their face and gets in like a crunching tackle and that, we ain't got no chance whatsoever because they're all weak mentality, physically, the lot. The confidence is shot. The whole team is just, honestly, I don't know. It's just a sinking ship.
Neil, it is. Andy King's not ready to take Leicester City. It's not a job for him right now. If we're in a very good place, and Andy
I actually feel sorry for him.
I feel sorry for him that he's been put in this position. Like I say, I backed him yesterday because it's Kingy. He's a legend, You go into the game thinking, what? Let's get the result for Kingy. Let's see if the players can actually turn up for Kingy, and it proved otherwise. So that tells you as much you need to know about how things are. Right, let's have a look at not Enzo Maresca. I don't think Enzo would have picked up the phone yesterday, but they've probably left him a voicemail and that's it. We'll get back to me, Enzo. And he's thinking, oh, bloody hell, they're that desperate for me to come back, are they? But Enzo's got an eye on the Manchester City job.
Yeah,
he'll have some big jobs in the summer to look at for sure. And if it's not Man City, it'll be someone in Italy or somewhere like that. Let's have a look at. I'll tell you what. We'll go with this one. Joe Aribo from Southampton. See, the loyalty card is back out again. Leicester City's loyalty card was Southampton. We've had their chief scout, by the way. We've had Ryan Bertrand. We've had Yannick Vestergaard. We've got linked with Bednarek in the bloody past. Joe Aribo on loan till the end of the season is Southampton's highest paid player, by the way, of 70 grand a week. So if you read the reviews on Southampton fans with Joe Aribo, they call him lazy. He doesn't he doesn't do anything. They're happy enough for him to get off the wage bill and go. So they're basically in a situation where we are, Ash, where we look at our high earners as a club, and then we want them gone, and then they're in the same position, and they're like, well, so Leicester can have him. Leicester can go and pay the wages for him. If Leicester want him, fantastic. That gets him gone. But they're not. It's not highly rated reviews on Aribo, is it? Obviously, he did quite well at Rangers when he were there. He went to Southampton, did all right in the Championship season when there was with Russell Martin, but then after that, he's been non-existent since. He's hardly featured this season at all. I think he's featured about 5 times. I think it was when I was talking to a Southampton good mate of mine yesterday, and they'd be happy enough to get rid of him, but it just feels like I don't know what the connection is between bloody Leicester and Southampton all the time.
No, it seems like John Woodkin does a better job financially for Southampton than he does for Leicester.
We were after their technical director as well. Let's not forget about him.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what's going on. There's obviously some money getting passed around in brown envelopes, something in back pocketing somewhere. I don't know. But for me, it seems like a desperation signing because he can't even get in Southampton's team, and they're not even pulling up no trees this season. And 70 grand a week. I think we're going to be paying 35 grand of that or something. So someone said
at least a big chunk of it, probably.
We've just got rid of a lazy player in Samare, so we just brought another one.
Well, someone said he's the basic op Uber Samare. It's just like what you're replacing one chuckle brother for another.
It's just mental, isn't it? I don't understand. It's
my thought process. I don't know.
It's lazy on the club's part, though. It's lazy, It's lazy on the recruitment team. They thought, oh, what do we do now then? Oh, let's give our old pal Southampton a ring.
Southampton have got any players for us.
It's embarrassing. That's what it is.
He scored against us last season as well, by the way. I think it was St Mary's in the first half. It's not hard to score against bloody Leicester, is it, these days, with how we are as a team.
But we do need the players. We do need the players in. So you never know. He might turn out to be.
He might turn actually and do quite well. You know.
So until we've seen him play, we can't really judge on him. But from what the Southampton fans have been saying, then it don't bode well, does it?
Get your mate Martin on from Southampton channel for feedback on this Aribo guy. I'm thinking Deadwood. Do you know what? I'll happily get Martin on at some point. I'll get Ash back on as well, actually, and we'll discuss about Joe Aribo. At this rate, we'll be looking to get the likes of bloody Gary Monk, Mike Dodds, and bloody Darren Ferguson. It doesn't help that we have a former head of recruitment from Southampton, Martin Glover.
Well, yeah, that's a big problem. Yeah, that's a good point.
It's true.
That is a good point.
That's why we went for the technical director there. Martin Glover's like, oh, he's doing a fantastic job, Leicester, at Southampton. We're going to have a look.
It makes employing mates, ain't it? That's what it is.
Well, Russell Martin's been linked with Leicester, so I bet that's come from Martin Glover at all.
I honestly can see him coming in the summer. I can.
I
really can. And I don't want to. We're already depressed as it is, but I can just see it happening.
It's the thought process, isn't it? It's like what so many people at the club's supposed to agree on one thing, and I think they have 4 people who will judge the whole situation. They'll come up with a player, and then if one person declines it, they basically don't have that player at all. That's how it works. I thought it's the case of if 3 of them agree to it and 1 don't. I thought they'd actually go for that player, but they don't. So if one person says no, so if me and you sat in a boardroom with, say, Football Martin and I don't know, Marty Cifuentes, and basically you went and said, well, I don't like him, Marty. Not interested. You 3 are absolutely deluded here. I don't want him. We just don't go for that player. It's like, how does that work? Like, where is the thinking process behind all these? The decision making at the club, should we call it? There's just no connection between them all in what's happening. It just feels like one person's gone for one thing. Yeah. It reminds me of the summer where before we hired Marty, John Rudkin were happy with Deitch and Wilder, while Top wanted bloody someone who played Pep Guardiola football again.
I think he wanted Danny Ball at one point, top.
Yeah. Like, I don't get it. You used to...
It seems like everyone's looking in different directions. There's no togetherness. There's no one vision. All looking in the same direction. And that's the trouble.
There's no alignment, is there? There's just no alignment. You're supposed to be aligned with these decisions. That just shows we're just running around doing with our hands in what we do. It's just bloody mad. Isn't getting a manager more important though? The transfer window up. The thing is, Rich, I was watching to Radio 5 Live with Mark Albright yesterday. I'd watched a video. I don't know if you've watched it, actually. He said they need to get a technical director in first with a CEO, and then is it somebody else after who does the
director, something like that.
Yeah, and then they get the manager. So the manager comes last. That's what they should be doing, but they're not. They're getting the manager and then getting everybody else in backwards order.
But that's what we are, backwards. That's how we do things here. For some reason.
That Swedish striker's gone to another team, by the way. This is why I say we are looking at Bromley and Lincoln City in lower leagues that have an eye on talent on small budgets, but due to due diligence in the players coming in. That's the massive problem here. Right, let's have a look at what Mark McAdams had to say regarding a defender. See, this bloke's a leader. He's obviously ex-Forest, by the way, Leicester fans, so just forget I told you that. Leicester City and Birmingham, two of the 6 clubs, have made an inquiry into Newcastle defender Jamal Lascelles. 32-year-old Premier League. He's featured twice in the Premier League this season, and he's out of contract in the summer. What is your thoughts on Jamal Lascelles? He's been at Newcastle for a while. He's their club captain, isn't he? Obviously, coming on a 6-month contract. What's your thoughts, Ash, on Jamal Lascelles? Obviously, he's a leader, but then we don't want to make it look like a Connor Cody thing again, where we just think, oh, he's a leader, that's it. We'll just take whatever here. Obviously, he's had a bit of an injury record, like the bloody all do when we sign players. Talk to me about Jamal Lascelles.
To be honest with you, I'm not against it. I think, we are lacking leadership in the squad, whether we like it or not. And I do think he would be able to rally him up a bit, especially defensive. We need all the help we can get defensively. And, I just think I think he'd be all right. He's not very good with injuries, I don't think, but he's been club captain in Newcastle, and that's a massive club. And, you don't just get given that on a whim, being club captain. So he's obviously got something about him. So I reckon he'd be all right down here. We need all that we can get at the minute.
We need someone to defend the back line, don't we? Let's be honest, and put them in order.
Yeah.
This is what we haven't got. We don't communicate at the back. We're just in free fall. So as one goal goes in, that's it. Where are you going? Right, Southampton fan. Here we go. Joe Aribo. Both clubs have similar problems right now with decision making. Aribo was not in squad until Tonda took over. So that says all we need to know. He's not in Southampton's plans at all. Right. Then got some sub appearances. He looked unfit and a bit heavy. That's not bloody good, is it? I want some. Do you know what?
We need for a relegation battle.
We need a bit of a positivity look on Joe Aribo. When we look at Southampton, there's just no positive. Yeah, we played well under Russell Martin in the Championship when they got promoted that season. Then that's all we've heard in the positives. After that, it's just like.
I think we can only judge him on what we see with our own eyes, though. Until we've seen him play with our own eyes, we can't really say anything, really.
Well, Bouba Samore looked bloody fantastic in that Community Shield final, didn't he, against Man City? And we never seen the same player after that.
Yeah. Well, so did Patson Daka in his highlight reel before we signed him.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? When Daka scored 4 goals in one game, and we're thinking, oh, this is prime bloody Samuel Eto'o. This is going to bag us goals. And then since he's not cut the mustard. He signs expensive wages. Well, it's 70 grand a week. I don't know how much of a loan we'll pay. And there's no one single on the pitch. I wouldn't bother if a player bleed Nottingham Forest if he gets us fighting for points. I'll back him. He could be a Coventry fan. It wouldn't matter. if a player makes the impact required. That's all you ask for: commitment, fight, someone who's going to lead this team. And that's what we need, someone, a leader, to get this group together and bloody...
We need an impact player. We need someone that's going to get stuck in and, you know, we can't afford to just bring players in just for the sake of it. They need to actually do something and help the squad out.
Here we go. All right. If he got fit, he would be versatile. He can play in many positions. I can play left back then. He can also play up front. Fantastic. We're looking for a striker.
Goal, if he wants.
He can play goal. Jordan Ayew looks like he can play all these different positions. And we've got one. Oh, bloody hell, Aribo's another player. If he's not going to be in midfield, we're going to find him up front with a pair of goalkeeper gloves on. Thinking, where are you going? Right. I'll tell you what, we're going to get on to this one. Fabrizio Romano's talked about Divine Mukasa from Man City, 18-year-old. This guy's a real talent, by the way. It is believed that he's going to sign a new deal at Man City and they're going to send him out on loan. Should we have a look at highlight reel? Because we always like to look at highlight reel players. Let's have a look. And there we go. There's the highlights of Mukasa. I tell you something, that guy can spread a ball. He spreads it like butter on bread, doesn't it? It's just like, whoosh, gone. He can score goals as well, which is fantastic. We do need goals in the team. He's 18, top talent in the England setup as well. I mean, we always look at YouTube bloody videos, don't we, of highlights on players, but Manchester City fans, they rave about him. They think he's very good. He's a top talent for the future. What's your thoughts on the signing? Obviously, Fabrizio Romano's gave us the little here we go on him. Leicester will sign him on loan till the end of the season. What's your thoughts, Ash, on Mukasa?
Yeah, to be honest, I'm not going to lie. I don't really know much about him.
Same here.
But it looks, and it totally come out of the blue. No, there was no murmurs about the signing or nothing, was there? But yeah, he seems all right on his highlight reel. He can definitely spread a ball. What is his actually preferred position? Do you know?
I think he can play as a centre attacking mid. He can play as a cam. He can play also in his like a midfield role as well, like a CM.
I mean,
he's quite good with the ball at his feet. He's more like a number 10. That's where he has been played. I
think my only doubt would be what we're going to be heavily relying on an 18-year-old again. You know,
4 years of that, Rich. Remember, 4 years. Do you know what? I thought he looked like bloody Louis Page at first. When I sort of looked at it, I was thinking, Louis Page played for Man City. Louis Page is good, and him and Mukasa could actually do something good. You know, they're both young, both hungry, both up-and-coming players. Obviously, Louis Page is in the England setup as well, isn't he? So I guess that helps.
Yeah, I suppose they know each other.
Yeah, I think it could be a good signing, to be fair. Obviously, we're not.
We need all the help we can get. So, it can't be no worse than we've got, can it?
It brings more energy to the 10 than Bobby Reid. Surely we should be approaching hardened players from lower leagues, players that can grab the ball by the game of its net, make an impact dresser instead of fancy football. That's what I was thinking. Obviously, when Enzo signed them players, didn't he, when in the Championship last time round, they worked out good, didn't they? Callum Doyle were good, and obviously till he got injured. He brought quite a few decent players, Enzo, young players. He obviously brought Ben Nelson in, didn't he, to give him an opportunity in the first team. Shrewsbury Hall was a massive one under Enzo Maresca as well. Enzo was always good with the younger players, but you always need that manager as well, don't you, to be good with the younger players and get the best out of them and make them hungry and work hard and that. And obviously at Man City, he's got bloody Pep Guardiola to look up to, hasn't he, in that sort of format again, the best coach in the world.
Yeah, and they obviously think highly of him because they've given him a new contract. So,
yeah,
he's not been released or anything. So they've got high hopes for him. So, hopefully he comes and hits the ground running, because every signing we make in this window is going to have to come in and hit the ground running. We can't afford any passengers, that's for sure. Got enough of them.
We've bloody got full a few. I tell you what, this last 24 hours, we're dealing with defenders, goalkeeper, midfielders. We need
anything but a striker.
We are desperate for a striker, and if we're relying on Daka and bloody Ayew, I don't know what to tell you. I just don't get it. When we let Jamie Vardy leave in the end of the season last season, who's the replacement? And then because we didn't have a replacement in and we were just worrying, we gave Jordan Ayew the number 9 shirt. Worst
thing they could have ever done, give him that.
I don't get it. I'd rather have bloody retired it, to be honest. Wasn't Enzo academy manager before being Pep's number 2? He was, yeah, he was. Yeah. That's where we got what's his name from, Brian Barry Murphy, the Manchester City under-23s coach, who's obviously now left Leicester to go to Cardiff, and he's doing a good job there. He's been linked with some top jobs as well.
Linked with our job.
That's the thing. You can see how good these coaches are. As soon as people look at them and they say, yeah, but they worked under Pep. Look at Mikel Arteta, worked under Pep. Doing well. He's done well. It's not a coincidence at all. You're under the school of Pep. And when you get under the school of Pep, it's fantastic, isn't it, to work with him and learn about the game as a whole, and you learn a lot more about what you didn't know before about the game of football and how he sort of analyzes it all, and it'd be fantastic. Right, this is one that's come out today from Sam C. He's a journalist. He's got over about 115k followers on Twitter. Mads Hermansen. This one has been backed up, by the way, by Alex Crook at TalkSport. Mads Hermansen is attracting loan interest from Championship clubs, including Leicester. So for the remainder of the season, the goalkeeper is keen to get regular minutes in the club for the World Cup this year. West Ham have been open to a loan move throughout the window, but despite concrete interest now emerging, there is hesitation inside the club over resolving his situation. See, let's talk about Mads. He was a good goalkeeper for Leicester. Obviously, until he got injured. Did well in the Championship under Enzo Maresca. We brought him for about £5 million, didn't we? Top Championship keeper. And then got into the Premier League, had that absolutely phenomenal game against Arsenal at the Emirates. Yep. Got injured at Newcastle away. Come back against Everton. Wasn't the same player. He rushed him back too early, is what I'd say on Mads from the injury situation onwards. And West Ham signed him in the summer. And he's not featured much at all. I think they don't fancy him at all, do they? He's not had the life what he expected at the London Stadium, has he, to be honest? What's your thoughts?
No, yeah. To be honest with you, I don't think the moves to West Ham's gone to plan like he thought it was going to be. But yeah, I think if the option's there and to have him back, then I probably would. Yeah, I think it'd improve us, that's for sure. Because I don't think Jakob's the man. I'm afraid
I don't think he's good enough.
he's not. He's not strong enough. He's not commanding enough.
See, I said this to somebody, and big up Reese, by the way, if you're watching. And he said to me, he said, Jakob's a better goalkeeper than Mads. And I laughed at him when he said it, right? And he said, Stolarczyk demands his area. And I'm right, okay then, right. Let's see this season to see how this one unfolds. Now, Mads is gone and Stolarczyk's been given a chance. It hasn't proved my opinion wrong at all. Mads is a better goalkeeper, for sure. He said about Jakob demanding his area. He's not demanded it once, I don't think, this season. Every time he comes free, he flaps at it or it just gets shoved over. And it just... Mads is a better... he's a good shot stopper. He does speak quite a lot, doesn't he? He's a passionate player as well. He does like to communicate with his back four. But this is where we look at it. Would you take Mads back at Leicester on loan till the end of the season? I think he's better than what we've got currently. People say, yeah, but we've got Begovic, who's more an experienced keeper who could do a job for us. But what's your thoughts? Would you take Mads back at Leicester, Ash, if you got offered the opportunity now with deadline day approaching?
If the opportunity is there, I would, but I don't think it's priority. I think getting a striker in is much more important than getting the situation because we've got Begovic, we've still got that Spanish keeper or wherever he is. No one's seen him.
Beates.
Yeah, what's happening with him?
When they put him on the bloody video the other day, do you know when they said they were ready for Charlton? He looked like a bloody bloke from bloody.
I thought he was a kid, man.
I was thinking, bloody hell, where's this bloke come from? I ain't seen him in bloody years. It bloody feels like years, doesn't it? He's not been given an opportunity at all.
Another strange signing, though, that surely his wages could have gone on something different because we're not using him.
It is a strange signing. Begovic, though, obviously Begovic has proved that he's done well this season. Obviously, he's had to worry about the defence in front of him, which is a massive problem when you're a goalkeeper. But as a goalkeeper, you got to command your area, be strong, communicate a lot more. Begovic does that. You look at the Stoke game he played, he bloody kept us in it, didn't he? Still laughing at that Jordan Ayew penalty. I think I were in disbelief more than bloody laughing about it, Rich, to be honest, as a Leicester fan. And you can get a loan anytime if your goalkeeper is out. Is that true?
Not sure. Not sure about that one. I think you can get an emergency loan, yeah. I think for keepers, yeah.
Right, let's have a look at this player that's been linked. Leicester have turned their attention to Lee Dong-jong. He's a South Korean. He has a buyout clause in his contract from Ulsan in the South Korean league. Apparently, talks have already indicated their willingness to pay the fee to be active. It's believed to be about 350k is the buyout clause for him. This is news has come from the South Korean journalist Joel Kim. Leicester are looking into the 28-year-old another bloody attacking midfielder. That's what he is, another attacking midfielder. We can't put all these bloody square pegs in round holes and expect it to stick here.
This is where we keep going wrong. This is the thing. We're not going to structure in the team. We need to get people in positions that can play that position. And all these attacking midfielders. What do we keep needing all these for? And to be honest, this one sounds more like a PR stunt than anything.
Well, Lee Dong-jong has scored 13 goals and 12 assists in the K-League, KL1. As left-footed attacking midfielder, creative playmaker, one of the best players in the league, and in his prime, would love to see this late deal work out and lead to have a chance in Europe. I just basically go off what they sum him up as, basically, to be honest. If they're saying, he's a playmaker. And see, I always like to judge players on my own eyes. I can't sit here, read everything they say, and then it gets me optimism. And then when you see the player and you think, okay, then, well, bloody hell, the top bloody me, Jan Kermingham, we're going to go far until he bloody chipped that penalty against Cardiff. And he looked bloody overweight and just utter crap. We get hyped up, by these players. We watch them on YouTube. We hear a lot of raving reviews about them, and then they come to Leicester City and they just flop.
Yeah, it just it makes you think that the scouting system just look at YouTube all day.
Oh, he was injured at Celtic, was it? Bloody hell. I think he's on about Iheanacho.
Oh, right.
I need a flipping forward. Ash, where do you think we're looking into deadline day now? Then where do Leicester City need to strengthen? If you had to choose 3 areas you think we're very weak in, and you could basically go and talk to John Brooken and tell him, well, we need this, this, and this. Where would you sort of say to him, we need to strengthen?
Striker, without a doubt. I mean, that's clear for everyone to see. Even the most idiotic fan would know that. I think we need another centre back. Now, Okoli will be out for 3 games. Will he be now? Straight red.
Hamza's out and all.
I don't know what's happening with Vestergaard. Why did he not play yesterday?
I was thinking that. I was thinking to myself yesterday, because he didn't play at all. There were there's no suspect of injuries or anything like that. And I'm thinking, could there be a deadline move for Vestergaard?
Or was he just walking his dog round Seagrave?
Well, it could be one of the two. It'd be interesting though on deadline day if it is the reason why he does leave. There's been a lot of talk about Abdul. This team's interested, aren't they? As you suspect with him, Ash. Do you think there could be a deadline day move for Abdul? And what would you sort of price him at, Ash, realistically, mate? If you look at him now, this season, what's your sort of realistic move in how much you price him at? And do you think maybe there'll be a couple of bids on deadline day with Abdul? Because the Saudi League have obviously looked at him, aren't they, and interested. So what do you reckon?
Now, if the Saudis come in for him, then you might be able to get about 50 million for him. But in my eyes, he's not worth that. And that might surprise a lot of people. But I reckon if we could get 30 million for him, I think that'd be a good deal. But I don't see anyone come in for him now, to be fair. But if we get relegated, his price tag will go even lower. So I said if we get relegated.
There's a guy at Monaco on loan who can play. No, I'm all right, thank you. That guy's had enough at his football club. We're not debating the dwindling on bloody Wout Fast being a bloody forward at Leicester. That guy throws his bloody arms around like the bloody angel of the north. You know what I mean? Abdul seems so frustrated. He obviously put over the leg injury too. Sadly, I believe he needs more to reconsider his form. Abdul relies on himself a lot this is why I think sometimes he keeps the ball a lot because he wants to do it himself. He's thinking, if the team ain't doing it, I'm going to have to do it on my own. And then he gets annoyed then. He starts bloody smacking the floor and getting pissed off. And then he starts getting himself booked in that because he feels the responsibilities on him then. And that brings a lot of pressure for Abdul, which is a team. The responsibility should be everyone's job to do where they're being placed in the team. So, I don't know. Transfer deadline day is approaching then, Leicester fans. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button. We'll set the like target at 50, so we can do that. Fantastic. Subscribe if you haven't already. Would appreciate it. Ash, thanks for coming on, mate.
Cheers, Jack. Thanks for having me on, mate.
There we go. Good guesting, Ash. We're going to get Ash on again, actually. We're going to get him on. We're going to chat all things Leicester with Ash again. When maybe we'll get Football Martin on to talk about Aribo. People saying left back, we need a right back. All we have is Ricardo. That's the thing. In a lot of these areas now, we've just got one player, Ricardo. We've got one right back. In the senior team, we've got one left back, unless bloody Christiansen makes himself. I won't bloody trust them both in their left back position, to be honest. I saw Christiansen, but I don't know. Right. That is it then. Transfer deadline day is tomorrow. We'll try and do a few streams, get your guys' thoughts and everything. We're going to probably link with bloody every Tom, Dick and Harry again. And the Leicester thing goes on. But there we go. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care. Have a great rest of Sunday, wherever you're up to. I'll catch you very soon.